A badass. Oh, look at us. Oh, look at
Uh,
that. And we don't even have any
we're
technical
live.
difficulties.
And welcome to Unveiling Shadows podcast. I'm your host, Kimberly Mosby, and this is my friend, Erica Bailey, and also owner of Iconic Marketing. And we're the skeptic and the survivor.
The survivor and the skeptic.
The
There we
survivor
go.
and the skeptic. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Hello, everybody. Real quick apology. I am solo parenting right now, so if the humans come down,
The little
gonna do my
humans.
best.
Yeah.
And then Kimberly said I could say something real quick before we jump into the chaos, the meat and potatoes. Um, so there's been a lot of shit obviously happening in the last week, and there's a lot of hatred being spewed everywhere. So I wrote something I want to share with you guys, and then we can get into the real story. But obviously today is the 24th anniversary of 9/11. It is also the 24th anniversary of my oldest son's birth. And so, although it was a day of heartbreak, it was a day of survival and joy for me. Yeah, yesterday, guys, our feeds were flooded with anger, rage, sorrow over what happened to Kirk here in Utah. And that tragedy is real and I guess deserves grief. But one thing also I didn't notice with all the noise, another heartbreak happened, and that was another high school shooting in Colorado. Students were shot, families had their lives forever changed. And while so many of us are blaming the whole, the entire groups, the communities, or the sides, the truth is that it is the one person who was so consumed by anger or hatred that they chose violence against Kirk, against those students. And if we let that same anger take root in us, we really risk repeating the cycle in different forms, whether it's through personal attacks, both on and off social media, through words that wound us as deeply as actions, and through comments, guys, that tear people down simply because we don't agree with them. That's not strength. That's not healing. We don't have to share the same politics to see this clearly. Violence and cruelty, whether it's in action or words, will never heal us. Only compassion, kindness, and love have the power to break that cycle. So, my challenge to everyone today is the next time you feel the urge to respond with anger, disgust, or hate towards someone, stop. Choose compassion instead. Choose empathy instead. Let's be better. Let's do better. It's up to us right here, right now, while the wounds are still raw, to rise above. So that is what I have to say because I am so saddened by the hurt and the hatred. So don't spew it. Do better.
Yeah.
There's my message for today.
Only pure love and pure light reside here.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. And you say silence gets us nowhere way too fast. Well, I
Yeah.
say violence gets us nowhere way too fast. So stop the violence, spread the love. Let's
Yeah.
do this. Let's talk 9/11.
Let's talk 9/11. Let's do that because there's a bunch of psyops stuff going on, and the government likes to do that. And so I just want people to be aware of that.
Hi, PB and
And
J.
yeah,
Hi. Hi,
we
Teresa. Hi, Igor. Where you been? Hi, Michelle. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining. All right, so tell me all the things I don't know because honestly, I was literally on a hospital bed dying all of 9/11. And luckily I'm still here, obviously, but I was
yes, I know. I'm
deployed that
grateful.
day.
I'm
So
grateful.
I don't
Uh,
know. I don't know
th-
all of this. I never really dug into it. So tell
right.
me, what do I need to be schooled on today, young lady?
Okay, I'm going to share my screen with you, and we're going to watch this Reese report. I like this guy. He's good.
Awesome.
Okay, can you see that?
I think it's just on the screen. I don't
There were many involved in 9/11: the Pentagon, the executive branch, and the CIA. And several people with prior knowledge were heavily invested and made small fortunes when thousands were murdered that day by their own government. And then there was Israel, the dancing Israelis who posed for pictures in front of the burning towers, told the FBI that Israel now has hope, that the world will understand us. The news media caught the same sentiment from a smiling Israeli girl on 9/11.
Well, big catastrophe, and I'm Israeli, and I hope that now people understand what we have to deal with, the kind of people that we're dealing with on a day-to-day basis.
Over 100 Israelis were arrested after 9/11. They were trained in military intelligence and explosives, posing as art students with fake IDs and infiltrating government buildings. And they were all let go, including over a dozen who were living in the World Trade Center as part of the World Views Artist in Residence program. They occupied floors 90 and 91, where walls were unfinished and structural beams were exposed. The same floors that American Airlines Flight 11 crashed into later that year. The U.S. government response to 9/11 was to destabilize the Middle East and to start viewing the American people as domestic terrorists. This is known as a false flag and often involves a government being complicit in the murder of its own people and then blaming it on an enemy as an excuse to justify war. This is what 9/11 was, and it's what 10/7 was. Israeli intelligence and the IDF had detailed knowledge of Hamas's plan weeks before October 7th. IDF units were moved from Gaza, where the attack occurred, just days before the attack. Israel's state-of-the-art surveillance system somehow didn't work that day, and hours went by before a proper military response. Every terrorist cell we know of seems to be associated with the CIA, Mossad, and MI6. 9/11 was blamed on CIA asset Osama bin Laden, and Hamas is no different. Netanyahu has made it clear on multiple occasions that he supports Hamas, and the evidence shows that they are also a creation of the intelligence agencies. A former director of Israel's intelligence agency, Shin Bet, says they helped Hamas hold power.
We did something very, very simple. We did everything in order to make sure that Hamas will go on controlling Gaza, and Palestinian Authority will control the West Bank, so they will fight each other. So what we did, with the permission of our Prime Minister, is to let Qatar to transfer a huge amount of money in cash, probably more than $1.4 billion, and to make sure that they will be able to send, people to work in Israel and to achieve or to get intelligence if they need. By doing it, we increase the power of Hamas.
And a former prime minister of Israel confirms this.
So are you saying Benjamin Netanyahu deliberately boosted Hamas to try to prevent a Palestinian state?
Yeah, sure. He deliberately and systematically even told, is on record, whoever wants to avoid the threat of a two-state solution has to support my policy of paying protection money to the Hamas.
Having helped to build up Hamas, Netanyahu has now vowed to destroy it.
Greg Reese reporting.
Okay, so summarize that in Erica terms.
Okay, so basically they're saying that 9/11 was an inside job to create the Iraq War, brought to you by George W. Bush, who signed in to maritime law, the Patriot Act, which took away people's freedom.
So the conspiracy theory, and I'm actually using quotes, guys, because I mean, is that we did this to ourselves so that we could profit off war and take away the freedom of the nation's people.
Yeah. So when you go and look at the Pentagon, they said that a Boeing 757 like flew into the Pentagon just the same at the same time, you know, just hours after. But in order for a 757 to land into the Pentagon, it would have almost needed to be flying on the ground. So that, in my opinion, was a missile. And they were trying to get rid of information. There was something in that section of the Pentagon that they wanted to get rid of. And then there is also Building 7 that was right next to the Twin Towers that the person who purchased it, I can't remember the name of that person. But anyway, he took out an insurance policy, and then after that building was blown up, he made billions of dollars. So my thought is if everyone follows the money, they follow the money chain, then they will be able to view the perpetrators.
Okay, so I'm looking at pictures of the Pentagon after the attack. Hold on a second. And like I said, I was 22 when this happened, and
Yeah.
I didn't understand.
Right.
At that age, I didn't understand like what was happening, or like the importance of these buildings, or like I didn't understand, and I was so sick that I just didn't really get it. All I knew was that all of these people were hurting
Died. Yeah,
and
they
died.
died.
Yeah, and that my nurses who were there, you know, getting ready to deliver Ty, they had like family in the, you know, that had just, or sons that just that, you know, just enlisted. And so that's what I remember. And I always thought maybe the souls that were lost, you know, came and saved me and my son, because we're not supposed to be here. But this is a picture, an aerial view. Wow.
Yep. So a lot of people are asking, where are the plane parts? Where are the engines? And some people are saying that the airplanes that flew into the Twin Towers were holographs, because they have these amazing holographs now. And they talk about using that for the UAPs and, you know, staging the alien invasion or whatever. And so they've had these holographic systems, which I spoke about in my book, as you know, because you said, talk to me about the shadow people. And I was
Yes.
like, yeah. And so they've had this technology for a really long time. And in the military, I call their suits the magic suits, because they're able to disappear from the naked eye with frequencies. And so they're able to do that with those airplanes, in my opinion, on 9/11.
So, I mean, I've walked through the 9/11 museum, the memorial, whatever, you know, and we've seen the parts and all the stuff that's in that memorial. And it felt very real, but I'm actually looking at this picture asking, it wouldn't the plane be there? Wouldn't we like see the tail of the plane like coming
Yes.
out here? Now, I mean, I don't
Yes,
know
Erica.
how
Yes.
big a plane, you know, a
757 is.
757 is. But I've stood next to a plane. I've been on a plane, and it kind of seems like it's a little bigger than what do we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 offices. Like, yeah. Where's the plane?
Yeah, that's a very good question and a very
Wow.
good observation on your part. They've been doing these psyops on Americans for a really long time, and I think that it's time for it to stop. It's time for people to wake up and realize that the establishment, the mechanism that's churning all of this misinformation is not for humanity, it's for against humanity. And so there are a couple of comments that I got. So from Kay, she said, Kimberly, a banking exec said that they followed the money and the Curl group made the most money. And NSA whistleblower said it was an inside job. Someone posted more info yesterday. And then William said, that's a very easy answer and easy to prove that it was an inside job. So it's very interesting.
And here's another picture. And like, and that first one was on the Army website. So like, wow. Okay. So the people that
Cruise
made the
missile.
most money were who? Wait, yeah, and no bodies, no luggage.
She said the Carlisle group, the Carlisle group made the most money. NSA whistleblower said that it was an inside job.
Who's the Carlisle group?
That's a very good question.
Anybody know who the Carlisle group is?
Joe says, where are the
Titanium
bodies?
doesn't
Where's the luggage? Where are the engines?
Titanium doesn't disintegrate on impact or for kerosene, aka jet
fuel.
Okay, I'm gonna have to admit, guys, my mind is kind of blown on this one. Like, this makes sense. Like, wow.
The
Wow.
grass in
And, you
front
know,
of the
as I'm
Pentagon is
thinking about it,
untouched.
I don't remember the memorial having, now, like, this was 10, 11 years ago, but I don't remember the memorial having stuff from the Pentagon. Like,
They make
it
some
had
very
plane parts
realistic
from the
holograms.
Twin Towers. But they really had, like, this super technology in 2001?
Yeah, they've had it for a very long time. Since the 1950s.
And
That's why
so,
they're able to like make whales and dolphins and stuff fly in the sky. Like, you know, that they have to have a trajectory, which is like a 3-point system in order to create these holograms. So you always go for the triangulation on this shit.
says the human remains were recovered from the Pentagon site, but no one from the plane survived the crash. The impact, fire, and collapse destroyed most of the aircraft.
Yeah.
Crash killed.
But then I heard that the people that were supposedly on the craft are actually still alive.
Wow.
And $17 trillion disappeared that day. No one talks about. That is
What?
probably
What?
true, William.
$17 trillion disappeared from where?
From the United States bankrupt, corrupt government. I don't know, in my opinion.
$17 trillion just, I mean, shit. I get mad when I'm lost $10 because somebody switched up the laundry and took it because I left it in my pocket. $17 trillion disappeared. Like,
Yeah.
He said 2.3 trillion. Okay, but still, that's a freaking trillion after that.
So much money. The American citizens are owed so much money.
Money. that went missing after, like it's going to tell me, after 9/11. I want to know more. Okay, I really want to know more about this. Yeah, Rumsfeld did not reveal the loss of 2.3 trillion day before. So this says day before 9/11.
Yeah, they were planning this months before 9/11. So that YouTube video that I sent you, it's 10 minutes long. So let's look at that. And this guy is pissed, and rightfully so, because we've been lied to.
I'm still stuck on the freaking trillion.
Right?
like
you could feed the homeless and
that would have ended world poverty.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And that's what, somebody's pocket? Like,
Yeah.
our financial
Building
systems are
7.
decades old. According to some estimates, we cannot track $2.3 trillion in transactions. Oh my God. So what does the Pentagon do? Like, what's all in the Pentagon? I'm going to open this up real quick, but
Satanists.
shows you how much I don't know.
So this one says Building 7, all structural support gave out at the same time, and it wasn't even hit by a plane. That is correct. Like, you just have to.
But at the same time that the Twin Towers collapsed, or because could it be possible that there was already structural issues with that building and the impact?
Because I found out today that they were all built on the Hudson River, which I didn't even know that. So you would have to make sure that when you blew up those buildings, you didn't interfere with the aquifer structure that they were built on.
Well,
They said it was sound shocking waves hitting the building. Yeah.
Of something to do with water, like it wasn't that a big part of the whole collapse? I can't remember. Okay. Yeah. All right. So we're gonna watch this video. Most of the alleged hijackers are still alive, working in fire. How? Oh, come on, like they all have the same name.
Because they weren't on the plane, because the planes weren't real. They were like Hollywooded in or holographic. But then they hijacked these people and fakely put them on the plane. Our government has been lying to us for a really long time.
What about the texts and the calls and the families? I mean, guys, I don't want to disrespect any of the people who lost loved ones on that day. I mean, I have a friend and a client who was in the building when it happened, and had to walk the
3 buildings turned to dust from planes. Come on, it's so obvious. Yes, William, you have a point.
But what about the people who were there, who say they saw the whole thing happen?
Well, those were casualties of war.
Saying they're implanted memories?
I think those people
guy who was there, who says he literally saw it happen coming into the building, who had to go down all of those flights of stairs and had to walk through the dirt and the dust and the shit and the grime, and he is imagining that they were planes. Implanted memories. Help me understand that.
So that would be a holograph. You know, I had those. I spoke about them in my book, and he could have seen that, but it wouldn't be a real plane flying into it. It would be a holograph, because once it hit the building, and the one that Joe's talking about, it disappears right when it hits the building. So it's very interesting. So William says hologram. You have no idea the tech that they have, and
I don't.
That is.
You're not wrong, William.
That's correct.
I don't know. I don't know. Okay, I'm still stuck on the trillion. How the hell does anybody lose $1 trillion? 2 point
Well,
whatever.
I'm guessing they probably stole it. You know, I don't know.
That's
They
the only
like to
freaking thing
steal
that
from us.
So the government stole stole it? What, to pay for? Just don't
George
get
Bush had all the debris sent to China immediately. I would not doubt it. William.
Really? Is there any proof of that? Is there any proof of that? All right. I'm not judging. I'm the skeptic. It's my job. It's my job to be the devil's advocate here. All right, here. All right, so we're going to watch this video. 9/11 cover-up includes Bush and Clinton. The fire story is a lie. Congressman Kurt Weldon. That's what we're going to watch. All right. Hold up. Let me just make sure it's connected to my right account. If for some reason I get ads, I'm going to have to switch accounts because I don't remember what account I paid for this on. So hold on. Screen. YouTube. Pentagon equals DARPA. Okay, I need to look more into that. Trillion? Like, trillions. I'm sorry.
It was full of asbestos. Yeah, I heard that.
And cheaper to drop than take it out. God bless the USA. It was full. Are we talking about the debris?
Yeah, the debris from the Twin Towers.
Because I mean, I have firemen friends who like were there cleaning things up, like, and you hear their stories. So I all right. But I did hear something about like they had to get rid of it somehow. I don't remember anything. Okay, shh, Erica. Let's listen to more. Oh, my mic wasn't even on. I'm going to try and figure it out, William. Love and light. That's what I said. All right. Sorry.
And the people who did it and the people who covered it up have got to be held accountable.
Okay, that's why I want to get your story out. As I went back through the 9/11 stuff, a few things just keep standing out to me that make no sense. You have large groups of architects willing to put their career, their income, their lives on the line, saying this building could not have been brought down the way that it did. You've got videos now surfacing of police officers, firefighters, witnesses saying, we heard explosions, we heard bombs. None of it makes sense. And yet within the commission's own report, it claims that a jet fuel firebomb after the airplane hit went down 208 feet in an elevator shaft, melting all of the metal, weakening the structure, and that's what brought the buildings down. Do you buy that for a minute?
Well, excuse my language, but that's pure bullshit. I'm a firefighter. I was a fire chief, a deputy fire chief on the largest fire in America 50 years ago, the collision of two tankers in my hometown. I wrote a book about it, and I testified before Congress, the House Energy Committee, as a 20-something-year-old fire chief on maritime fire safety. 28 people were killed in that disaster. For 18 years, I worked for the largest insurance company in North America, the INA. My job was to train their technical people that inspected buildings that we insured. High-rise buildings, complex buildings. Now, I'm not an architect, I'm not an engineer, but I know something about building fires. I know a lot about what happened there because I was at ground zero the day after the attack occurred. And I had been through the buildings with Ray Downey when the 93 attack occurred. The biggest story, and you're right, 3,000 architects and engineers who all have careers, have risked their professions by coming out publicly and saying, the story of the 9/11 Commission is a joke. They got NIST to issue a report. And I supported NIST when I was in Congress. NIST is the National Institute for Standards and Technology. But NIST and other agencies will do whatever the government wants. I'll give you 2 stories. And this is one that every one of your viewers needs to watch. It's a film produced by firefighters. It's called Calling Out Bravo 7. They can get it for free. If they contact you or me, I'll send it to them. I've sent out thousands of copies. They can go online for Firefighters for Truth. In that film, toward the end, they analyze the buildings, just as you point out. And they're better at this than me. But in the end, they give the case of the battalion fire chief of New York, who was in tip-top physical condition, Oreo Palmer, a father of 3 kids, normal, hardworking firefighter. He was a very proud man. He responded on the first due company into the World Trade Center tower, took his crew with the air pack on their backs, their full gear, carrying hose, 40 pounds of equipment. They got in an elevator of one of the towers. Contrary to what the 9/11 Commission would have you believe, they went up 40 floors. They get off at the 40th floor, and you can hear Oreo Palmer's words. When you watch the film, you'll hear him say, "We're on the 40th floor, and it's okay. We're going up." They start going up in the stair tower, the 45th floor, the 50th floor. And you hear Oreo say, "We're on the 50th floor. It's okay. We're going up." 60th floor, 65th floor, in the stair tower. "It's okay. We're going up." Battalion Chief Oreo Palmer reaches the 78th floor, the floor where the planes hit. And he comes out of the stair tower with his crew. And he said, "We're here. We're on the floor of impact. We've got 2 fires, and we can handle them." That's not me saying that. That's not some fake Hollywood star saying that. That's Battalion Chief Oreo Palmer in the middle of the worst disaster in America, standing outside the stair tower in the building on the 78th floor where the plane hit, saying in his own professional judgment, "We can handle this." And the building collapses. It's a massive lie. It's a massive lie and an arrogant slap in the face of every firefighter and every person that died at 9/11. There's none of that in the 9/11 Commission report. Not one piece of that. Second, the 9/11 Commission wouldn't allow me to testify before the Commission. Now, as a firefighter all my life, a fire chief, a state fire instructor, I spent 18 years working for an insurance company, and I was the vice chairman of both Armed Services and Homeland Security. You would think they would say, "Congressman Weldon, would you please testify?" They didn't want me to testify because I had been at the Trade Center Tower in 93, and I was there in 01 as the guest of the fire department of New York at Ground Zero. When the report was finally issued for members, I went over to the Cannon building when the commission was giving it out. I stood up to be the first questioner, and I said to Lee Hamilton and Tom Kane, both good men, "I don't fault them for this. This is not them. It's the people that did the staff work, that did the cover-up." And I said, "Lee and Tom, you know my background. You know my commitment to firefighters. You know I was up there in 93 and 01. Why wouldn't you call me to testify?" And Lee Hamilton said, well, you know, Kurt, we had a lot of people that wanted to testify." I said, "Really?" The staffers did not want me to testify. The same way they didn't want Tony Shaffer to publish his book after they had tried to ruin his life. And Tony had met Zelikow as he brought 9/11 staffers through Kabul, asking if any military had encountered anything to do with the attack at 9/11. Tony Shaffer volunteered to meet with him. They exchanged business cards in Kabul. And Zelikow said to Tony, "We need to meet when you get back to America." When Tony returned to the States, after serving as a spy, Bronze Star recipient in Afghanistan, his offices were locked. All his files were secured. Tony's security clearances were removed. And they went after him. They made up some ridiculous, stupid charges. I did a 1-hour special order. Anybody in America can Google on the House of Representatives website, and you can pull up the special order I did, or I'll give it to you online. 1 hour. And I said, "This is the biggest scandal in the history of America. Defense Intelligence Agency should be tried for criminal activity against Tony Shaffer because he was telling the truth. Tony then went to work in the reserves, and a few years later decided to write his book called Dark Heart. So as is protocol when you're a spy, you have to ask your superiors to approve your book. So he went to his commanding officer and he said, I want to write my memoir. Will you review it for me and make sure it's okay? He said, sure. They reviewed Tony's book. Said, okay, publish it, Tony. Tony's publisher starts publishing it. And then the deep state finds out. Those who don't want the truth out. They issue a cease and desist order to the publisher. Stop publishing the book. It's too late. The book's already in production. So our government, now listen carefully, people, our government used taxpayer money and they bought all 10,000 copies of the first edition of Tony Shaffer's book to destroy them.
Wow. Is your mind being blown yet? You're on mute.
I don't even know like what
Words.
words to come out of my mouth. What about the pancake fucking theory? Oh, our resistance is best.
La
pancake
resistance. The resistance, which is what we all need to be, is the resistance, okay? Because we're not going to get through this unless we stick together. Every single person has been a node on the network since 1995. There's a computer and or person. Yeah. That's what I call the digital twin, but yeah.
I've got goosebumps, aka truth bumps. That's I liked that one. Tiffany, hold on a second. You said we're only a few matter. You matter. You matter, Tiffany.
Yep. You do.
You matter to me. You matter to us. And there's a little more than a few on this live every week, and you all freaking matter.
Yes.
Just so you know. You all matter. And there is hope because we're all here and we're sharing, even though we have this like, Erica's mind is blown and all this crazy shit that's happening in our world. And like, we're here and we love you and you matter. All right. Sorry. Had to go there for a second.
Well,
You
Tiffany, we've been talking a lot via text, so you do matter. And you're not crazy.
Wow.
You're not paranoid delusional. You are just being, harassed because they don't want the truth to come out.
If you're in Kimberly's text, you do matter because not many people get that far.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, whether or not you matter, you all matter. We appreciate you. And you're human and you're here and I care. Even though I don't know you, I care. And I share my love and light. Okay, so
I'm just telling you, they have been lying to us for centuries to make this agenda of ours, to do their psychological warfare, to dumb us down, to make us compliant, to make us and not know our inner gifts of intuition and spirituality and all of that, because we are in a spiritual war, people. I don't know if you know that or not, but we definitely are, which is why Erica said at the beginning, kindness, compassion, empathy, love, light, peace, and joy to people. And the more we start to resonate at that vibration, the better off we're going to be. Because
yeah, keep going.
Yeah, because that's how we transition to the next phase, is through that higher vibration frequency where we're spreading that. So
Yeah. 100%. And I know a lot of you here are very faithful and are very religious or spiritual, whatever you want to say. But I got a message today from somebody who really connected with what I posted yesterday. And what he said, whether you're believing God or not, I found this very powerful, is God never wanted a religion. All he wanted was a relationship. And when it came to tithing, no, he doesn't want 10% of your income. He's asking for is 10% of your time. 10% of your time to show love, be grateful, obey the commandments, pray. And if you have a family like I have, my son, it's not that hard. Because that other 90% is, to me, the definition of sin, which also means the mark. And he knows we mess up daily. And he's giving us that 90% grace because he loves us that much. So when I say give when your cup is full or even empty, God will suffice our needs. So ultimately, what I took from, I was very, and I'm not like, I don't believe in organized religion, guys. Like, I was raised Catholic. I have faith in all sorts. I don't believe in organized religion, but I found that powerful because it goes to the fact that if we give love when our cup is full or even when our cup is empty, it will come back
Yes.
from wherever that is, right? So you're giving love here to each other. The key is you have to be willing to see it when it comes. You have to be willing to see the love when it comes. And I think many of you are hesitant or scared to even open up your mind to that or your heart to that because you've been hurt so many times, right? But there is love. And so if you give when your cup is full or when your cup is empty, it will come back to you, I promise. And hopefully, yeah, and don't let the anger take over you. That's what I was saying in the beginning here, Mark. Everybody's spewing anger and hatred and resentment on social media right now, and we're attacking each other. And it's like, I feel like if we are the ones that are spewing that hatred, how are we any better than the man who pulled the trigger? If we are responding in anger because we don't like what each other are saying, how are we any better than the man who pulled the trigger? So you matter. Try to find a way to, let some of that love and light come in because you all deserve it. We all deserve it, right?
Yeah, we all deserve it. I connect to the universe, spirit, source energy when I go to the ocean. And I do that once a week. And I ground myself and I give love and light to the universe. Because with that comes peace.
I connect by
Gardening.
sitting in silence. I'll sit
That
in my
too.
garden, or just outside in the sun when we have sun here. But I will literally just sit in a small space in the dark and recognize that there's something so much bigger than me, and all I have to do is turn on the light. Because the element of light, guys, think about it. If you're sitting in a dark space and you light a candle, what element is going to be the most powerful? Like, the darkness only comes if you blow out the candle or if
Yep.
you turn off the light. So that's how I connect and remind myself that there's something so much bigger than me. And it's great. Hi, Autumn. We're good, girl. How are you? We're good. I'm like in a mood. My kids are silent. Kimberly, you bribed them. And they're up there. They're either something really bad, they're drawing with Sharpies all over my couch, or your bribe worked. So
My bribe worked. I'm very influential when I want to be.
yeah, she goes, Kraz, if you go upstairs and be quiet, your mom will let you have a present. Okay. It worked. Yeah, they want us angry, scared, and dependent on them. That's what they want. So don't give it to them. Don't give it to them. I am loving how many views we've had on our video. Well, yeah, Anna.
Yeah.
Good message, man.
Yeah, that was the podcast I had with Joe, Jonathan, and Autumn. And we just did it off the cuff. I generally don't have but two people on, myself and a guest. But Jonathan had some very important things to share, and so did Autumn. So I think that it was really good.
But I
Yeah.
think that's what people like about you is when you're just raw, I mean, when you're just like off the cuff, you know what I mean? And that's how you've grown. Wow. All right. So like, do all y'all think that 9/11 was a total conspiracy? Like, were any of you like there? Any of you experience it? Like, my mind is fucking blown about that Pentagon picture. Never heard
Yeah.
about it, never thought about it, and like, yeah, it makes sense. I really want to know where the hell that money went.
Do you want to know what my thought is about it being a total psyops?
I do. I always want to know what you think.
Total. This government, all these people are corrupt. I'm just telling
you.
you.
With that absolute term again. All right, all the people are corrupt.
Well, not all the people. It's just the fake people in the maritime law system in the United States government incorporated that's been, bankrupt several times. And then the people that they put in the indebted debt slave system just keep paying taxes, which is illegal.
Hey, I've been seeing all this shit about like Trump. God, my mouth is awful today. I'm sorry, guys. Like it's just coming out.
It was planned 100%.
Did he really get rid of federal taxes?
Well, federal taxes are illegal.
Well,
all taxes are illegal.
Did he actually put it into law that federal taxes are not, like, you don't have to pay federal taxes if you make less than a certain amount of money, or is that just fake news?
Well, I'm just saying that he's probably backtracking because more people are becoming non-citizen nationals, which is what we're calling it. So Joe is helping me come up with some websites. So the first one is ncnus.com, which is where you're going to go for the documents, which will have the American State National Package, the indemnity bond, the Clone Act that James Martinez was talking about for your cognitive liberty. And then there will be a website called noncitizennationals.org, which you will go to for all the information on everything that we're trying to do. Because when you've been targeted, your focus is not quite right. And so we're trying to incorporate everything into one system that can generate all the documents for you when you input your name, your birth date, and all of that.
Pretty bad.
So we want to make it as easy as possible.
Okay, there you are with freaking absolutes again. Like,
taxes are aiding and abetting.
Who went to college. I went to college. Kimberly went to college. You're using the word everyone. Absolutes. Guys, there's not an absolute here. Like, in my opinion. I went to college. Kimberly went to college. She's got 2 bachelor's degrees. I got a bachelor's and a master's degree. And we are not responsible for this. So, with love, another wonderful secret. No disrespect. I'm the skeptic.
But we were put into the institution but you and I both went to the University of Phoenix before it got infiltrated by the Rockefeller Institute that said you have to teach your students our academic protocol, or whatever. Same with the American Medical Association, the American Dental Association. We talked about the Rockefellers before, and the petroleum-based medication, and how nature is your best option always. You know.
Ooh, speaking of, I got off yet my final mood stabilizer. Yeah, I'm a little moody, guys. Off. One more medication out of my system. Go, baby. And
Go, baby.
I am working with a naturopathic provider to help me
Yes.
get off of my insomnia medication so I can actually sleep without drugging myself terribly. So
Yes.
I'm listening with the one ear I can hear out of lately, but I'm listening.
Yeah. I'm so glad my sparkly fairy princess, queen. I'll call you queen.
But do you notice like a change in me from the past 6 months, even when I was on all those medications?
Yeah.
When I started that other treatment and like started coming off of the medications,
Yeah.
like my sparkle has come back.
It has come
I
back.
feel
But it could also be revealed in your eyes. So sometimes when I would look in your eyes, I didn't see the same, and now I see you right there. I
It
see your
is.
sparkle.
I feel sparkly. I
Yeah.
feel sparkly. Like I'm no longer afraid of what I call the dark. And I know we're kind of getting off topic here, but like just so I'm totally open about everything, guys. So I've been doing ketamine treatments in order to help me get out of the medications and over my traumas. And all of the themes were about like darkness, right? Like all I wanted to do was see the color. I just wanted the color. Everything was dark. And the one before last, I woke up just bawling because everything was dark and I can't seem to find the color. It's like right out of reach, right? This last one I had, Kimberly, I woke up fucking belly laughing. Laughing hysterically the entire time. No color. It was like I don't know if you've ever seen the videos of the Titanic, and is that a conspiracy? Anyway, the Titanic and like the light goes over and you can dimly see like these forms come out. The whole thing was dark. I woke up belly laughing. Like I am not afraid of the dark. I can see past the dark into the
Good.
depth of reality.
Good.
I'm telling you, it is like being off the
A
meds,
relief. Yeah.
having like these puzzle pieces and no longer being afraid.
Yeah.
The freedom, the emotional freedom of that, guys, it's amazing. It's
Yes.
amazing. Get off those prescription drugs and you're going to feel a lot better immediately. I mean, you're right.
Yes.
You're 100% right. It's what I've been doing. And, you know, I have to taper off. Otherwise, I go through crazy withdrawals.
Yeah.
But my sparkle is back. Like, mood stabilizer gone. All of a sudden, I'm happy.
I know. You look happy. 100%. You look healthier too, which is
I feel
amazing.
healthier. I feel
Yeah.
healthier.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, my mind is blown once again, and I'm really going to dig into this one. What are we doing next?
So
What
I
is it?
think
Your guys' ideas last week were freaking phenomenal.
so. I told GovBuster that I would do the gang stalking stuff because he
Mark
sent
wanted
me.
that too.
Yeah, and so I think we'll do the gang stalking next, and then after that we'll do the graphene and self-assembling nanotechnology for
Okay.
the Internet of Everything Everywhere.
Okay. Internet of everything, everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of acronyms that you use. All right. So next week we're really going to dive into gang stalking, though, guys. And this is one that I actually know a lot about. So we're going to talk about the different tactics, the different types, what to look for, and ways that you can help yourself. I really want to end with something that's like ways that you can help yourself, because I think a lot of you, that's why you come here, is to try and find ways that you can help yourself. So next week, gang stalking. The week after that, we've got the graphene stuff. And then the week after that, I am gone. I'm going to be back home in Arizona, seeing my Sun Devils. God, I hope they do better this week. Can you explain how the street theater... Tiffany, that's a good one. Actually, Kimberly knows a lot about the street theater and the gang stalking. So yes, Put that on our to-do list.
I will put it on the to-do list because it, when I went to TJ Maxx, they freaking swarmed me when I was in Salt Lake City. And one person set a vial of lotion in front of me that was a lavender lotion that said "Stay calm." And I was like, you people are freaking criminals and you deserve to burn in hell, like literally. And yeah, so
Right.
it's just like street theater, gang stalking.
Right,
It's all connected, Tiffany.
You're right, Mark. You're right. It's taken me a year to get off all this shit, and I'm telling you, I've never better. So wait a minute. The person put something in front of you that's lavender that said "Stay calm," and that's a bad thing.
No, it
Because
wasn't.
I hear like, I'm supporting you during this traumatic experience you're having right now. Stay calm. Don't let
Yeah.
them win. Like that's
Yeah.
what I hear when I see that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think they like, there are some people that are in the program that probably don't want to be in the program that are gang stalking other individuals and torturing them. And then they know that they're going to go to hell if they continue with their nefarious and sick and twisted activities. And so I think that a lot of you targeted survivors or VSAPs, victims of, I don't know what Gecko Pico said it, what it was, but he's calling us VSAPs. And so I just want you to basically tell them that they're going to go to hell. And I want to hear your reactions on the gang stalking post that we do next week.
Yes.
What happens when you tell them that?
As hard as it is, guys, hold your head up and say, you can't beat me. I will not let you break me. I will not let you snuff out my life.
Yeah.
Don't let them. Whatever's happening. And you know what, Tiffany? TJ Maxx, like Home Goods, you know why? Because most TIs are women. Of like the women who shop at TJ Maxx and Home Goods. And most TIs are women, right? So that actually makes sense.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I agree. Like, tell them as hard as it is, pick their head up and say, I will not let you defeat me. I will not let you take my light. Stay strong. You got this. We love you too, Mark.
Stay strong. We got this.
See you next week. I'm going to go make sure my kids are still alive and give them gifts, apparently.
You're welcome.
Bye, guys.
Sending love and light. Thank you.
Violence gets us nowhere way too fast. I changed your call phrase.
That's true. It's true.